It's day 3 of Walk Off the Weight, and we are getting fit and flexible today. No equipment needed, so let's go. All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. And that means that we are getting started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and we are walking off the weight this month. How are you feeling today? If you have done the first 2 days, and today really is day 3 for you, I'm very curious if the first 2 days felt good, just right, maybe a little easy, or did those weights yesterday kind of bring on a little bit of soreness? For me, I actually felt it, and I'm a little surprised, I'll be honest. I'm always surprised when I feel a little bit sore because I feel like I'm fit enough that maybe I shouldn't be sore. But you know what? Soreness comes on sometimes and other times not. And I never really know when I've pushed it to the point where my muscles are going to be thanking me later. So today is meant to be a little bit kinder, a little bit gentler. I've got a great dynamic stretch for us today that is built to promote flexibility, which is super important as we age. And let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. But there's also still a nice little cardio element, because what we're doing this month is making sure that we get a little something every single day. Now here's what it looks like. I've got the handy dandy gym boss today set for rather long intervals, and done at a higher intensity, this could be like a super sweaty workout. But what I'd really like us to think about today is moving through each plane of motion and really thinking about the stretch that we're getting. Not working hard, not trying to get a lot of cardio out of it. It is cardio, but not trying to get our heart rate up super high, but rather thinking about really stretching and moving our body fully. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my hums. Speaking of that, and in fact, we're going to take this one down a little notch today and really start that stretching motion where we're really thinking about stretching out our abs, feeling where our body is, feeling how our muscles can really use a nice stretch. So we're going to actually get started with a nice walking motion for the first long interval, because that is a great way to bring our temperature up and make sure that we are fully warmed before we start stretching. Now I'll be honest, I like to stretch, but I don't stretch often or very regularly. Let's put it that way. Let's go ahead and start walking, and I'll finish telling you about this. So I enjoy stretching. Like, I love the feel of stretching, but I don't do it super often, and I'm not super flexible, and those two things are related. If I stretched more often, I would be more flexible, but I don't, so I'm not. So I am a huge proponent of dynamic stretching, meaning not just, laying on the ground and pulling yourself into one position for a static hold of a stretch. This kind of stretching is far, far more my forte. We're going to get started with an overhead reach with side tappers, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to reach overhead while doing sort of an exaggerated side tap behind us. What we're going to feel from this is a stretch all along one side. So we're tapping out to the side and stretching. Now I'm hanging in each pose for, what is this, 1 or 2 seconds, maybe? You are absolutely welcome to take today at whatever pace feels amazing to you. I might actually be going a little too fast for you. I might be going a little too slow for you. Totally up to you. As I mentioned, this is, because we've got our hands overhead and we are moving, this is cardio. Your heart rate is going to come up, but I'm really enjoying thinking about this nice stretch, feeling it all down my obliques, all the way down into my hip complex, my outer thigh, up into my armpit and into my arm. When it beeps, we're going to do kind of the same thing, honestly, except we're going to be doing a middle reach. So this time we're still stretching, but now we're twisting, really getting a great stretch through our torso, really feeling that difference when we twist into it, having our hands at shoulder height, still stepping back wide behind us, really feeling the difference in where I feel this stretch. For me, this is all about my abs and obliques, And it actually weirdly feels a little bit different down into my hips. By not having your hand overhead, I actually feel the side of my hip stretching even more. When it beeps again, we're going to take this down low. We're going to go ahead and take it all the way down to wherever you can get to. I'm going to take the time to stretch as close to my toes as I can. So now we're coming all the way down, still doing that. Honestly, it's not quite as exaggerated of a step back this time. This is definitely, oh my gosh, a little bit more balance, taking that big step back. And for me personally, I can actually touch the ground if I'm not straightening my leg all the way. So that's what I'd like to think about for myself, is trying to actually straighten and keep straight that stretching leg so that I'm really working on those hamstrings. Now, when it beeps again, we're going to come back to walking, just kind of catch our breath and warm up again. Whew. Even though I have not cooled down, I want to make sure that our heart rate is more or less level throughout our workout today so that we can feel really good about what we have done. Let's go ahead and come back to that walking. Okay, and really kind of assimilate some of the stretching that we've done. Now, we are going to go through this circuit twice today, so we'll really have a chance to feel it again on round 2. Now, when it beeps again, we're going to start doing a little bit more lower body, and I will warn you right now, when I was practicing these, some of this actually does feel like strength work, because that's what happens when we're stretching our lower body. We're going to start with like a heel dig tapper, which means I'm going to have my hands kind of doing their own thing, but we're going to push one leg forward and tap our heel on the ground and bring that stretch up into our hamstrings. Now, in order to keep this dynamic, you might, I mean, this is a very cardio move. Honestly, it's a kick forward with your heel on the ground. So you might be tempted to go pretty fast. I'm going to tell you, you can go as fast or as slow as you like. I'm making a little bit of like almost a runner motion here with my hands. I'm really, oh my goodness, when you can sit your hips down into it. Oh, is that all you had for us today, Blossom? Thank you for being here for the first part. She keeps doing this, you guys, every day. She's here for a little bit, and then that's about all she's got of listening to Mama talk. But when you really sit your hips down into it, I can feel this, oh my gosh, on the backs of my legs. When it beeps, we're going to take it out to the side, and we're going to be doing an inner thigh stretch. Still tapping, going back and forth, keeping it nice and dynamic, but stretching out to the side and then stretching out to the side. I'm taking a full step and coming out, and a step and leaning over. As you come out to the side, whoo, doggies, really feeling that work on the leg that you're standing on. Yes, this is something of a side lunge, but I'm keeping it tall enough and really just focusing on the stretch. Now, as you do come down into the stretch, make sure that you're pushing your hips back behind you. If you feel any kind of problem with your knees, for example, this is a bit of a lunge. If you feel any kind of a problem with your knees, you are absolutely welcome to turn this into a kick instead of a lunge. Now we're going to do a step back tapper where we're stepping back and stepping back. I'm trying to get my heel all the way on the ground behind me. Again, kind of doing these sprinter arms here. Getting your heel all the way on the ground behind you really stretches out that calf. Oh my gosh, all the way down into your lower legs. Calf stretching for me is one of my absolute favorites. My calves carry lots of tension, and I love this stretch. Now, when it beeps again, we're going to come back to walking. Done such a good job on this lower body, and I want to be able to kind of shake out our legs a little bit before we do our final stretch of round 1. Awesome job. So coming back to walking. Now, here's the thing. This next stretch is kind of all the way around the world. What we're going to do is we're going to go up overhead, all the way over to the side. We're going to have our feet nice and wide. Feet are actually going to stay planted. It's a little bit more of a static stretch. We're going to come all the way over to the side, and then we're going to twist into it like a flat back stretch with our body pointed towards that side. We'll come down to the ground from there and then walk it to the middle. For me personally, I already know this, I'm going to bend my knees before I stand back up, because coming up from a straight-legged stretch feels like a lot of work and is also a little bit too stretchy for my hamstrings. My hamstrings are not that flexible. So I'm going to be moving and bending a little bit while we do this. Go ahead and have your feet nice and wide. So we're going to stretch all the way over. Whenever you get to where you can get to, we're going to turn into it, both hands out, and then go ahead and come down to the side of your leg. Walk it to the middle. For me, bending my knees and coming up. Oh my goodness. All the way over to the other side. Turn into it with that flat back. Come on down to the ground. Walk it over to the middle. And then knees and up. As mentioned, you guys, this is the end of round 1. So when it beeps again, we're going to go ahead and come back to that walking. And then we'll do a little bit more upper body stretching. Everything that you've done, I don't know what I was doing with my hands there. And everything that you've been doing, come back to walking. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite part about being done with round 1. You've seen it all. Okay, none of the stretches are gonna get harder. None of the stretches are gonna get more difficult. Wherever your heart rate is right now is about where it's gonna be. It's gonna come up a little bit more just because of the duration of the workout. But this was very doable. And now you know what everything feels like. When it beeps again, we're doing those overhead reach side tappers. So nice and big overhead, but we're just tapping our feet. We're not doing the static version of it anymore. So as we come into round 2, you can kind of decide what you'd like to do with it. You might go a little bit faster, you might go a little bit slower. For me personally, I'm gonna go a little bit slower so that I can really feel that stretch even more. Totally depends on, honestly, it really depends on your flexibility. For me, not being especially flexible, this feels amazing to stretch. If you are very flexible, like I said, if you go a little bit faster, not a lot faster, but a little bit faster, this could be a little bit more cardio for you, because that might be what you want and need to work on. I've been a runner for years and years. My heart health is excellent. So I've already worked on my cardio endurance. For me, this is all about flexibility. When it beeps again, we're doing that middle reach tap out. It always depends on what you want to get from a workout and where you feel, so here we go, towards the middle, really doing that twist. Oh my gosh, really feeling that work in my middle, the stretch in my hips and my obliques. It always depends on what you want to get out of the workout as to how you will make it work for you. Now, if you need to work on both cardio and flexibility, I'll suggest that you focus on flexibility today, because honestly, this month, we're gonna get tons of cardio work. Such good heart health this month, such good everything. Overall, all body health this month while we are walking off the weight. When it beeps again, we're going to do the low stretch, reaching down while stepping back. Whew, golly, okay. Reaching down while stepping back. Okay, I got to put my hands out to my sides for this one. This is a lot of balance for me. You know, we've been talking about how we're doing a little bit of balance, a little bit at a time this month. Anytime we are not standing center, meaning anytime you have one foot that's not right next to or, in the same plane as the other, for example, when we're stepping back like this, that is a challenge to your balance. And especially with the leaning over part of this, I am absolutely feeling very wobbly. When it beeps again, we're going to go back to that walking, kind of shaking this out. Oh my gosh. Oh, it feels so wonderful to stretch like this, my friends. Right back to walking. Flexibility is something, it's so important to keep our muscles moving through their full range of motion. And even knowing that, even being a fitness professional, it's still not something that I take a ton of time for. It's why I really like when I make these videos for you, honestly. When it beeps again, we're doing those heel dig tappers where we're tapping out 1 foot at a time, digging our heel into the ground, really feeling that work and that stretch all the way up the back of our legs. When I take the time to do flexibility work, I am reminded how important it is. Part of an overall healthy workout plan means including a little bit of everything over the course of this month. So here we go with those heel dig tappers. I'm really going to take a moment in each one of these stretches, making sure that you're pushing your hips back so that your knees aren't doing too much extra work here. When your knee goes in front of your toe, your joint is taking on more work. And this is indeed a single leg squat, my friends. So we're going to be really careful about our form here, holding in our core, pushing our hips back. But a good workout routine includes a little bit of everything. And if you are anything like me, if you are an experienced exerciser, you probably have one thing that you like to do more than anything else. When it beeps again, we're doing those inner thigh stretches. So big step out and over to the side. I don't know what I'm doing here. Over to the side. Oh my gosh. And then over to the side here. I had it right the first time and I don't know what I'm doing this time. It's super funny. I'm thinking about this stretch and I know that I took a step. Here we go. Took a step to the side. And then a step to the side. Oh my gosh. No matter how I do this, it feels awkward. I feel the stretch. I still know what I'm doing, but it doesn't feel as tappy as it did on round one. So I'm just going to go with this. I know I did something different last time, so feel free to do whatever we were doing last round rather than following me exactly, because oh my goodness. I'm just thinking about the stretch and not thinking about how it goes. Let's go ahead and do those step back stretches. This one feels a lot more comfortable, this step back into the calf stretch. But if you have a favorite exercise, this is where I was going with this. If you have a favorite kind of exercise, for me, it's absolutely cardio. You might find yourself doing that one kind of thing most often. The reason I love to do this kind of a month-long series with you is so that I personally, for myself and for you, can put together a really complete program. If you are very flexible, you might love to stretch. You might actually stretch all the time and maybe not do a lot of strength work or not do a lot of cardio work. Depending on what you love best, you probably have, here we go back to walking, you probably have some strengths and some slightly less than strengths. This month, we're working on a little bit of everything so that everything can be strong. Okay, now when it beeps again, we're doing that big around the world stretch. Feet are gonna be nice and wide, reaching up over the top and then twisting into it with a nice flat back and then rolling down the side of your leg, coming to the middle and then standing back up. This is our last stretch, our last thing in the circuit, and I will tell you, because I like you to know, especially if you're brand new around here, I will tell you that I do have a finisher for us today. Even on a flexibility day, I like to finish us off with a little bit of balance. We're going to talk about that after we're doing our stretching though. So when it beeps, we're going to have our feet nice and wide. Come over to the side, come down into a flat back. Reach down wherever you can reach to. Come to the middle. For me, I'm bending my knees and standing back up. Making sure that you are moving at a pace that feels best to you. The faster you move, the more cardio it is, but also the faster you come up, the more you might get dizzy. Just really contemplating that we are not trying to get dizzy today. Now, when it beeps, we're gonna do one of my favorite kind of balance exercises, something I call star balance. It is a bit more of a stretch, actually. We're gonna have our feet together. Oh my gosh. And then we're going to tip to one side. I often think of I'm a little teapot. So both hands up. We're going to tip all the way to one side and then come back up from it. That was not especially good for me. And then tip to the other side. Now here's the thing, depending on how good your balance is, this might be really easy for you or really difficult for you. The better your balance is, the more this is a stretch. My balance is not phenomenal, so therefore this is a little bit more balance work than stretchy work. Totally depends on where you are. Now here's the thing, because this is one interval, we are going back and forth. It's totally okay if you have a chair in front of you, a wall next to you, a couch, a table, a something that you are tapping and hanging onto. You're only balancing as far as you can recover from. You might be able to get significantly further over, or either way, we are done. Oh my gosh, better than done, my friends. We are finished. What a great job you did. Let's cool this down. Did you notice? Your heart rate came up a little bit, right? That was just the right amount of cardio and stretching. Beautiful flexibility work, beautiful work for your heart and lungs, beautiful work for your body. Now remember, my friends, what we've done today is absolutely enough. The driver of weight loss is eating the right number of calories consistently. Exercising moderately is good for your brain and good for your body, but it has very little to do with the scale moving. So making sure that you're doing your 5 good steps for health and weight loss today. Nice big open arms here. And close it up. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on the back because you did such a great job. Now I know we've just spent this entire time stretching, but I do have an extended cool down for you with a little bit more stretching. Just, it might feel good. Like I said, you might love to stretch and click on that every day. Also here on screen, I will have for you everything you need to know about losing weight so that you can be super successful this month. Make sure you click the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.